back to public finance N6. In this video we have to look at a full question paper of November 2024. That is our public finance N6 question paper. So in terms of our first question that we have, we are having multiple choice questions as our first questions. So going to our first question. Our first question, we are having it here, whereby 1.1.1 the government budgets must distinguish between, so the correct response is current capital expenditure, which we are having on A. And then if you go to number 2, the budget of a department can be regarded as A or N. It can be regarded as a financial plan, as a policy statement, as an operational plan. So we have A to C being correct. So our correct response is D, all of the above mentioned. We've got number 3, levies on imported products are dash levies. We are having our correct answer as presented as B. So we have consumption levies. So moving down, on number 4, absence of the quid pro quo principle refers to, so you'd say that we have got B as the correct response, which is something for something. We have got number 5, mining rights and licenses of various kinds under. So we have our correct response is C, nominal levies. So going down, number 6, the budget is a financial statement of income and revenue. For A, we have B, a 2-year period is the correct response. So of course I will move on to number 7, which is import duty may save important functions, for example 2, which is D. A and B are correct, which is we check in terms of our responses, whereby we have got A, discourage importation of goods, and we also have B, stop dumping. So that's exactly, remember, an import duty is a protectionist measure whereby we want to protect the local industries or the infant industries that are just starting to operate, and they are going to be protected by those protectionist measures, which we have import duty as one of them. So having that, we move on to number 8, excise duty is A, and of course according to our response, D is the correct. A, B and C, we have got tax on petrol, we have sin tax, we have also luxury tax as correct. So this is what we have for number 8. We move on to number 9. Number 9, we have the government of the day might decide to use a fiscal it might decide to use a fiscal policy stimulate economic growth. It can be achieved through, we have A, incentives. Then number 10, dash is responsible for the bulk of state revenue, which is a D, personal income tax is the correct answer. Then we go to 1.2, indicate whether the following statements are true or false by writing true or false next to the question number. Of course, 1.2.1, taxes are recovered on behalf of the government by SARS. We have that statement is true. 1.2.2, we have false. Taxation is of a voluntary or optional nature, which is false. Then we go to 3, donation taxation aims to protect other tax sources such as, of course, we try to go to the requirements. What we have for 1.2.3, we say that 1.2.3, our answer is true. Then we go to 1.2.4, carbon tax is the most important source of income for government, which is false. We have false there. And then obviously we move on to the next one, 1.2.5, whereby 1.2.5, we are having also a continuation in terms of the true and false section. So we are here. So basically this is what we have on that part, whereby it is transfer taxation may be regarded as a tax on the riches of wealthier people of society as reflected by their capital assets. And we have our answer is true. Stamp duty is not an ad valorem tax, and we are having answer is true. The main tool of control is the audit, and we are having our answer is true. VAT can be regarded as a consumption tax, which is also true. The rate of income tax is determined by legislation. Of course, we have true again. On number 10, taxable income is a part of the revenue on which taxation is based. of course we have that as true again. So moving on to 1.3. So 1.3, we have to complete the following sentence by writing only the missing words or words next to the question number. Of course, the first one, the term used for people who are excluded from paying income tax. So we check in terms of our responses, whereby we have exemptions as for representing that, and then on number 2 we have got a bracket creep, number 3 ad valorem vendor, on number 4 budget is the answer for 5. So what audit is represented up to our 1.3%. So this is what we have on this part of filling in. And of course we do have a continuation in terms of our question paper, so we can try to go to the next question that we have, which is obviously going to be 1.4. So you have to choose the correct term from the terms that are given. So in terms of the responses, we have these as our responses. On the first part, import or excise duties used to stop dumping of goods, of which the correct one is import, which we have here. And then on the second one, we've got VAT, is a sales tax levied on a successful on a successive stage of course the sentence is not fully shown as indicated, so we can just try to see what we have there. So with that, we move on to the next part, whereby we have got 1.4.3. we have got real proper tax refers to land plus improvements as indicated on that one. So that's what we have. So we have a continuation, whereby we on 1.4.5 standard expenditure items are detailed in the and of course we have got a financial schedule. And then number 6 are the main budget allocates funds for the whole of a financial year. And then number 7, we have deductions imply that tax generally applies to net income. We've got number 9, whereby we have got a provincial, whereby we have our provincial government are not allowed to levy tax on betting, which is the correct response. Number 10, we've got personal tax represents the majority of state revenue. So this is our 12 on this part, and then we move on to question 2 now, whereby the first question that we have on question 2 is meaning of equitable financing. And of course we have that description from the memo side on this part, whereby it is where the financial burden of contribution to a project in the form of taxes is to be progressive, or at least proportional, so that both the present and future users have to make contributions since they are all going to benefit from the project. So that is what we have for that one. And number 2, to disadvantage of financing projects from loans to present and future users. So of course we have the points as presented. Of course the question only requires 2, and then on the next question, explain in full promote accountability in relation to the functions of an annual budget. So we have also our response in terms of 2.2.1. So 2.2.2 differentiate between priori control and ex post factor control. And of course we have that is also articulated. Then on number 3, indicate only 2 institutions or persons to whom the administrative and executive bodies must be accountable. Of course we do have that as 2.3 of this part. To the elected representatives in the legislature, to the people of a country, to the Minister of Finance. And of course, on 2.4, name and explain two types of audits. So we have got accounting audits, appropriation audits, performance audits. So that is what we have on that part. And from there, question 3. So we have our question 3, whereby in the first part we have to list 4 internal sources of revenue for capital projects for local government. So we see that this is what we have on 3.1. This is on 3.1. So we have our responses for 3.2. Discuss capital budgeting under the following headings: meaning of capital budgeting and then capital budgeting tools. So we have that also is explained. And of course, on 3.3, we would explain the following terms. We could take deductions, exemptions, incentives. So we have the explanations as are given. Whereby on the first part we've got the explanation of tax deductions, on the second part is exemptions, third part we've got incentives. So we go down, discuss the interesting principle. So we have explanation on the indexing principle. Then we go number 4, explain import duties. So this is explanation on import duties. State 2 purposes of import duties. We are also having the answers is also indicated. We've got on 4.2, of course, we have the response on instant duty and transfer duty. We have 4.3, name 4 factors that are important when classifying other budget information. Of course, we have that also is articulated. Then on 4.4, we also have 4.4.1, define the term audit, which we have our response, and then name and briefly explain 3 types of audits applicable to public sector finances, which we have also is articulated on this part. So this becomes the last part that we have in terms of our question paper, that is our question 4. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful.